Welcome everyone. This video is about question 30 of ICAP question bank. We will solve this question in accordance with latest tax law for tax year 2023. Please read the question carefully. You can pause video to read it. You can see that the taxpayer in this question is an individual. Mr. Bashir Ahmed. The question is silent about his residential status. In such situations, our default assumption will be resident individual. Have a look at requirement of question. You are required to compute taxable income and tax liability. Something new in this question is that the taxpayer has worked for two employers in this tax year. Company A and Company B. Company A is first or previous employer. Company B is present employer. Please note that the question has not given any information about the duration for which taxpayer has worked for each employer. You can take your assumption as you feel appropriate. We are assuming that for half year taxpayer has worked for Company A and for second half of the year he has worked for Company B. Our tax calculation format will look like this. Let's fill in some basic information like name, type of person, residential status, and tax year. Good job. You are doing great. Make your first working on a separate page. For each head of income you must create a separate working on a separate page. Let's read the table which contain information about some of the salary components. Nothing mentioned in first four items is exempt from tax, therefore all these four items will be taxable. Mention this information in your working. Question also tells us more about perquisites. Conveyance provided for personal and business use. And cost of car is Rs 1.1 million. Let's first see how to calculate value of this perquisite. Recall the relevant slide of notes. If you want to revise valuation of conveyance, a link of relevant video can be found in description. 5% of cost of vehicle will be included as salary income. Mention it in your working. Value comes to Rs 27,500. Please note that on basis of our assumption that Company B has been served for half year, we have added a factor of 6 by 12 in our calculation. This factor has not been used in your solution book. Therefore, our answer may differ slightly. Fill in values in relevant column of working. 27,500 will be included in taxable income. Next item is leave encashment. Let's first revise the taxability of this benefit. Recall notes slide. Only encashment of LPR of government employee or member of armed forces is exempt from tax. All other leave encashments are taxable. Here leave encashment has been given by Company A. Mention the amount as taxable income in your working. Next item is medical reimbursement in accordance with terms of employment. Medical facility in accordance with terms of employment is exempt from tax if NTN of medical practitioner is provided and expenses are attested by employer. Question is silent about these two conditions. We will take our assumption that these conditions have been fulfilled. So the amounts of 35,000 and 25,000 will be exempt from tax. Mention it in your working. 0 will be added in taxable income. Next item is amount received under Golden Handshake Scheme. Let's revise how it is taxed. When a taxpayer receives an amount under Golden Handshake Scheme, he will have an option to tax it at 3 years average rate of tax. Oh no! You are trying to run away. Come back, dear, we will do it in an interesting way. Have a look at question. 3 years income and 3 years tax has been provided. Using these figures, we can calculate 3 years average rate of tax. Let's mention amount of Golden Handshake in our working. Taxpayer has two options. First option is to keep this amount in salary income. Second option is to apply 3 years average rate on this amount. Let's first conclude option 1. Make its total. Very well done. We call this option 1. Now we will discuss option 2. 3 years average is to be used for golden handshake amount. It means it will be taxed at a different rate of tax. The remaining amounts, excluding the amount of golden handshake, will be taxed as usual. So under option 2, we are making 2 columns. One is for amounts other than golden handshake and second is for amount of golden handshake. Let's make totals. Take these totals to your main working. We will first address golden handshake amount, for which 3 years average rate is to be used. Use information given in question. This table contains income and tax figures of past 3 years. Make its total. Now divide amount of tax by amount of income to get average rate of tax. The rate comes to 23.41%. This is 3 years average rate of tax. Golden handshake amount will be charged to tax at this rate. Multiply amount of golden handshake with this rate. In income tax law, if a rate of tax has been mentioned for a particular income, then that income is called separate block of income. Try to pour it in your mind. Memorize it. Repeat it. Discuss it with your friends. Make no mistake in understanding the concept of separate block of income. There being no income in any other head of income, it is very easy to calculate total income. There being no deductible allowances, we can easily work out taxable income. Important thing to note is that the taxable income does not include the amount of separate block of income. Now we need a rate of tax. Tax rates are always given in exam, so no need to memorize. Just remember that if more than 75% of taxable income is from salary, then tax slabs of salaried persons are applicable. Third slab and fifth slab are applicable here. Use this slab to calculate tax on taxable income. Tax imposed has been calculated except for separate block of income. Let's calculate tax on separate block of income. Tax imposed calculation is complete now. Under option 2, there are 2 tax figures. Add them to find out the amount of tax under option 2. Compare tax amounts under option 1 and option 2. You should choose that option which results in lower tax liability. Option 1 is better than option 2. There being no tax credits, the tax payable is very easy to calculate. You deserve an ice cream today. You have done a lot of work. Which flavor you like most? Just one more thing is left. From question, find out amount of withholding tax. There are 2 amounts mentioned in question. 300,000 and 270,000. Both of these withholding taxes will be subtracted from tax payable. Now calculate tax demand. You did a wonderful job today. Enjoy your ice cream. Your answer is complete now. You can ask your questions in comments section. See you all in our next video.